Hey folks, it's JT,
And Joanne.
and we're at Old Fort Harrod in Harrodsburg, Kentucky. We just got here. We'll have to tell you a little bit more about the place later, but let's go take a look. You can pause this if you want to read it, folks.
Hi, folks.
Good morning, how are you?
Well, I'm doing pretty good.
I hear you're the local gunsmith.
Yes, I am. I sure am.
Do you mind being on camera?
I'm in the finishing stages of
Nice.
this rifle right here.
And what caliber is that going to be?
It is a 58.
58, nice.
Big boy. Made
Yeah.
for killing big things. And actually a very common caliber back in the frontier of Kentucky,
Nice.
because we had a lot of big things here that we needed to kill. In Kentucky, well, east of the Mississippi River,
Uh-huh.
we had the largest buffalo on the face of the earth.
No kidding, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Back at that time, we had breeds of buffalo like you have breeds of dogs.
Uh-huh.
And out west in California, Oregon, British Columbia, they had like little Chihuahua buffalo.
Huh.
And up in Canada, they had a very woolly thing, looked like a big overgrown sheep, except it was very large. It was very large, about like our plains buffalo, and had big horns, like a dead-gone Texas Longhorn,
Yeah.
except they were much straighter, and they were very pointy and pretty darn good weapons. And
Yeah.
out on the Great Plains, they had what you kind of see today. They had the sort of buffalo that you're used to looking at when you see a buffalo. The thing that calls to mind a buffalo. In the 1920s,
Mm-hmm.
we had about 150 buffalo left in the world. American bison,
Yeah.
and the overwhelming majority of them, of that 150 buffalo, were Great Plains buffalo. I had a few in Canada, had a few in Mexico, didn't have any east of Mississippi any longer. So they got a big thing going, because all of a sudden they realized, the buffalo are going to go extinct. So they gathered up what they had in Mexico, they gathered up what they had in Canada, and they brought them out to our Great Plains, and they started breeding them, and now we've got them everywhere. They're doing wonderful. And they still, because like 80% of them were Great Plains buffalo, they still look like what you would have seen out in Nebraska or South Dakota or something like that 2,000 years ago. But actually, they're like mutts. They're like mongrels. They're Heinz 57s. But here, east of the Mississippi, all of Kentucky, southern Illinois, southern Indiana, southern Ohio, northern Tennessee, we had these great big things.
Yeah.
I had a friend that butchered a 1,000-pound steer about 2 months ago, a little over 2 months ago. And you think, wow, that's a big cow. The buffalo that were here weighed twice that much, over twice that much.
Yeah.
2,200, 2,400 pounds, brutes. with attitudes to match.
Yeah, we spent 20 years living in Wyoming at the base of the Bighorn Mountains.
Oh, yeah.
We've been to Yellowstone several times.
Oh, yeah. Well, those that you're looking at, they're very, very similar to what you'd have seen 2,000, 3,000 years ago.
Yeah.
But in fact, they are mongrels.
Mm-hmm.
Like we had a golden lab that we absolutely loved. Named him Hank the cow dog, and he looked like a golden lab, but actually he had a little bit of this and a little bit of that in him. He had a little bit of pit bull, and he had a little bit of retriever, and he had a little bit of this and that and the other. But if you look at him, you think, yeah, golden lab, but not really. Same way with all the buffalo we have left. They're mongrels.
Now, is this the gunsmith shop, or is it like a blacksmith shop? Guns, okay. I see the traps on the wall and stuff, and I was just wondering.
Yeah.
Now, blacksmiths could make traps. They certainly could, but most commonly they were made by gunsmiths.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. A blacksmith is like a kindergarten level gunsmith. Blacksmiths couldn't anymore make a gun or make a barrel or make a lock than they could sprout wings and fly. But they were very, very necessary, and they served a very needful purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what I'm doing right now, and I'm final sanding it. It started out its life pretty much the shape